you may have. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank BCTV for the opportunity to, get our opinions out there and who we are, so people can make an informed choice before they go to the poll.
Thank you. And Rob.
Thank you, and thank you for having us and putting this together, and thank you guys for coming down. This has been fantastic. Like you said, the involvement is incredible. I'd like to think that one of the best parts of this country is that we get to vote, so don't forget to vote on June 8th. Yes. It's our civic duty to do so, and I feel very strongly about that. Like Mike said, if you see us in town, just stop us and ask us a question. I do have a Facebook page that you can look up and send me a message or reach out to me if you'd like to get some more information. And I just appreciate the consideration for the board. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I would, as has been mentioned several times, encourage everyone to get out and vote. There are absentee ballots as an option. I would like to thank all of the candidates for being here tonight. You did a great job answering the questions and I think being very succinct in your responses. But I thought you did a great job, and it was also really good to hear as a town resident that there is a lot of commonality. It makes the decision making process a little bit harder, but it's nice to see that there's some common goals that you have. So with that, Patty, is there anything else that we should be doing? All right. I would say thank you very much. Just a reminder, this will be on BCTV, so please avail yourself of that option. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done.
And we are live. Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday, May 25th, 2021 regular Selectmen's meeting. We have Selectmen Ken Mannon, Noah Cobbs, and myself here tonight. Ed and Mark will not be here tonight. We have the town manager and the town clerk with us. Please stand with me and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. First order of business is the approval of our May 11th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
We have a motion and a second. No further discussion. I'll go through the roll. Is Ken?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Public comment. We have no public comment. The town clerk did make me aware of somebody asking about when we're going to be working on the roads today. Today somebody asked about when we're going to be working on the roads, and We want to explain that we need to pass the budget before we can do the road work. We do have some money left over from last year to take care of the miscellaneous things, but in order to do the majority of the work, we need to have the budget passed in order to get this done.
Yep.
And could you tell us what roads are planned on being done this year?
Yep, there's a section of Cranberry Meadow Road, and everybody should know where it is. If you travel that road, it's in tough shape. Also, along Swamp Road, there's two sections there that part of it we're going to do a shim and overlay, and the other we're tearing up. And then it's a toss-up between, we're going to do some on,
Old Sanford Road, was it?
no, it's Winding Brook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac
Yeah.
that's falling apart. We're planning on doing that. And Tall Timbers, there's some stuff in there we're going to do. See how far that gets us.
Right.
The price of oil's going up, so I'm sure the price of paving's going up.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes.
If there's no other public comment, we'll move on. We have a public hearing today. The public hearing is for the June 8th, 2021 town meeting election. That's where we'll be voting for the town budget, the town warrant. There's also be 2 selectmen and 1 school board member. As I've opened the hearing, as we have no public here, so I guess I will close the hearing. It was a very quick hearing. We have no reports of any committees, no appointments or anything this week. Under unfinished business, we have a pole permit. This is the one up on Alley Pond Road. Is where the application put in by a private power service. We asked Patty to get us some more information on that. She talked to the people at CMP and they reviewed that, and it was all approved by them. They said it was okay. So is there anything you want to add to that, Patty?
I couldn't get my unmute. No, that covers it, Tom. Yep, CMP is all set with it. They knew about the project and approved where it's going.
So, all right. We have a motion to accept the poll permit for Alley Pond Road.
I'll make a motion that we accept the poll permit submitted for Alley Pond Road.
Second?
And with no further discussion, we'll go through the roll. Is Ken,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
and myself is a yes. It brings us to the town manager's report.
I have a few things, just so the public knows, June 30th is the year end for us. The town office will be closing at 2 p.m. so they can close out the books for the year. So it will be up on BCTV, on the website. So those people need to pay attention because the doors will be locked and hopefully it will be quiet. The county budget sent me information today. Well, the county did about a public hearing on their budget. Everything's going to be done Zoom. If anybody is interested, I'll send you the Zoom connection. It's pretty uneventful. As usual, they're doing a good job keeping their budget down. There also is, we've been chasing a personal property item for a while, and Lisa Vargas has been chasing it along with others, and we couldn't find this business. It was Parcel. He owes us just over $2,482. We asked before if we could just write this off. We do have a UCC claim filed, so if he ever goes bankrupt, we'll get our money for the equipment. But I would need a vote for us to write it off our books, so we have to quit chasing it. So that would need a vote.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to write off the debt, the personal property, as mentioned by the town manager.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
What's the total amount?
$2,482. A lot of it's principal. 1,400 of it principal and the rest is all interest. So the interest will continue to grow a little bit, but it'll come off the books from our general ledger.
I wanted to make sure it was on the record.
So, all right, is no further discussion? I'll go through the roll with Ken,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
and myself as a yes.
And another item that we need to vote on is we overexpended on the fire station. That was $167,085. We had planned to use the proceeds from selling the old fire station to close out that account, but we have to wait till June 8th. I don't think we'll have time to do that. So Lisa would like to ask you to transfer money from the capital improvement budget from the fire department. It has over $303,000 in there, and use 167 of that to close out that report. And then when the fire station gets sold, we'll put money back in there. And we also have on the warrant article that we're going to use that money from proceeds of the sale to pay the bond payment for the coming year, so which would be helpful. So I'll need a motion on that if you agree.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, any questions of Steve? Is what this was is as we're finishing up, is not just the fire station, but the police station. A lot of items came up that were unforeseen, especially in the police station side of it, especially in the electrical part of it. So we went over budget on some of that. But we have the money in the capital improvement fund. And as Steve said, our plan is to take the proceeds from the sale of the old fire station and pay everything back off. So no further discussion. I'll go through the roll. Is Ken?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
And myself is yes.
On another note, CATS, which is the Kittery Area Transportation Group that we belong to, James got a letter. He's a representative on that. We have been approved for an $800,000 grant to work on the Sawmill Hill project. The money won't be available until 2024, but it's earmarked for that, which is nice. If we happen to get more money in before that to do that, it might be available a year earlier, and then we would move the $800,000 forward for another year. And we'd have to apply for that as well if we wanted. And we have plenty of projects to do. On another note, when it comes to funding, out of the federal government, we finally got some COVID-19 recovery funding, which Berwick is targeted to get $784,000 roughly. We have to apply for it. It's going to be spread over 3 years. So once the state has everything up on their website, that all comes through the state. The feds will send the state money. And we're prepared to apply for that so we can do some projects that we haven't been able to do because of the COVID-19. And it's also being allowed to use for some water projects, which we definitely have a use for.
Yeah.
So that is that money. Also, the earmark that's coming out of the Senate for the municipalities. I've been talking with Senator Collins' office and Angus King's office. Both the representatives have been keeping us up to date, and that paperwork has come through. So we're sending off 4 different projects. One is the water project, which is to me is a priority one. Also, we have the bridges on Diamond Hill and Ridlam Road. The Eric Calderwood called me a few weeks back and told me, gave me an estimate on the cost is about $700,000 for each bridge. So it's a little bit higher than what I got 5 years ago, and I'm sure it will continue to climb if we don't get access to it. So we put that in there as well. And James is submitting stuff on downtown redevelopment, economic development. So and there may be some funding we're hoping to get some of the recovery funding to go towards recreation as well, to replace things that we had planned to do. So it's a lot of things on our plate still, even though it seems to be somewhat of a quiet time of year. But we're getting ready for paving and a bunch of all this funding. So Wright Pierce emailed me today. They're working on the search for underground water, wells, aquifers. They have completed their geophysical study survey, and they expect to be putting together the data to make a proposal to us, hopefully next week or the week after. So we're moving, we're a little bit behind. They thought they'd have everything done by May, but we're still within the time frame that we need to get the 1.2 million passed so we can have access to that as well, to start doing some of the recommendations. So otherwise, I have nothing else.
Yeah. Any questions of Steve? If not, I'll move on. There's Selectmen's communication, York County budget hearing is the same as what Steve had said, so that's basically it. That brings us to accounts payable. We have a payroll warrant number 72 for May 20th, 2021, for the amount of $71,798.45. We have account payable warrant number 74 for May 25th, 2021, for the amount of $214,872.29. And we have a payroll warrant number 73 for May 27th, 2021, for the amount of $71,020.94. I'll make a motion to pay the bills. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. No further discussion. I'll go through the roll. Is Ken?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. 3-0, Patty. That brings us to new business and the paid time off policy, which has been ongoing for a while.
It has been
many
ongoing for a
negotiations.
while. We had a little bit of, this is strictly for the non-union employees. It mirrors the personnel policy. It's going to be an insert for some changes. We had some discussion amongst the department heads on how it would work, and they had a lot of good questions, so we put it off and we made some adjustments, which I sent to you, and we should be all set. So that will take care of that project, which is Patty, a bunch of people have been working on it. Lisa Eustace and Lisa Vargas and a few of us. So a little bit of a change for us.
So, any questions of Steve?
Steve, you said this mirrors the contracts that we have in place with the union employees?
No, it doesn't mirror the Teamsters. That's a little bit different. We're hoping we have contract negotiations coming for this coming year. We're hoping to use that as a negotiating tool to switch to that. Right now, the police department has a modified version of the personal time off, so it's not a big issue with them. It's pretty much the same. It's the Teamsters that will have to be, hopefully we'll get to be able to change that. It's just a smoother way of doing things. Governor Mills put together legislation that gives people up to 80 days off a year, and we had to do something to correct that in our personnel policy. So this is a way of doing it.
Any further questions? If not, I'll look for a motion to accept the paid time off policy. Yes, no, maybe?
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll just say is, no, I've been talking to Steve and several of the other employees about this over the last few weeks, and there's been a big change from the first proposal.
Yep.
Not all the employees are happy with it, but it's more digestible, I guess you could say, and they understand the reasoning behind it. So, with that, I'll go through the roll. There's Ken,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
and myself is a yes. So it's not on the agenda, but Patty just brought me it's another mutual aid assistance with the police, like we signed with York. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is with South Berwick. It's the same thing. It just says that we'll at the chief's discretion to assist, and is basically the exact same agreement that we went over for the York one. So, any questions on it? If not, I'll look for a motion to accept.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, I'll go through the roll. Is Ken,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
and myself is yes.
This is very similar to what we do in the fire department with mutual aid. When there's a need and shortage of help, we help each other out, which is a good thing.
We have no quitclaim deeds, no abatements, no second public comment, no executive session. Under the other business, non-agenda items, unfortunately Mark's not going to be here, isn't here tonight, and Ken, you're leaving us, but something that we need to discuss is whether we want to start our in-person meetings again.
I was literally going to bring that up at the end of this meeting.
Yeah.
I was just going to be like, when are we going to go back to the meetings in the town hall? I have no problem either way. I mean, it's certainly more convenient not to leave my house, but I do miss the in-person stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm open to it as long as everybody's vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm sure you guys are too, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't ask other people that technically. I'm in favor of it also. We do lose something without having the in-person meetings, I think. And it's just that much better for us to interact with each other and for the public to see us interacting together, I think. So
I think we just ask the public, if they have not been vaccinated, that please wear a mask if you come in to the building. That's the only request I have to protect my selectmen and staff.
So after the vote on May 8th, and we find out who the next two selectmen are going to be, is maybe 2 select women, we don't know. I'll reach out to them and talk to them and see, but I do think that we should safely come back into meetings again. So that brings us up to the other item I wanted to bring up is, Ken, you're leaving us. We appreciate your 3 years of service. You've been a good, steady hand. I'm going to miss having you check the minutes, because that means I'm going to have to check them more closely now. I wish Ed was here. I really appreciate Ed staying on the way he did. He was here before I came back on the board, and he went through some of the worst times that Berwick has seen, and he's been a good, steady hand. So I'm sure that the next 2 select people who come on, they're going to do their job just as well as anybody else, and I guess that's all I have to say about that. So.
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks. It was a learning experience, that's for sure.
It is an experience. It is a teaching experience. It's a real education. My first term back in the mid '90s, I was as green as could be and didn't know a thing. And by watching, the people who had been there for a while, and watching what they did it, really helps. It gives you a real understanding of how government works in towns, so. Without that, we have one other motion.
Motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn, I'll second it. All those in favor? Say aye. Goodbye, Ken.
Patty's right on the
Yep,
minute, 7:50.
yep.
Yeah, not
6:50.
bad.
Goodbye.